Canvas Studio presents a Deerfish production. What's the most annoying thing that could happen to you? Bet you came up with many reasons. But how about enjoying a nice day off at home, only to be disturbed by someone coming to your door? That's really annoying, right? Well, what if that person might end up saving your life? Greetings, I am the Storyteller. Tonight I bring to you a tale from my collection of stories, so sit back and relax. Allow yourself to get enveloped by my words and envision the world that comes off from my pages. Door-to-door salesmen, don't you hate them? I know I do. That is why I, for one, am happy with the way society is changing. You don't see much of them anymore, as now most businesses are shifting over to a virtual reality. However, that now means I get bombarded by legion of ads on my computer and phone. Though I guess one plus to that is that I can close them out of my life without any talking back. When people came to my door and I would try to shut the door, they would force every word out so I can stay and listen to their never-ending babble. Oh, the never-ending babble, how I hated it. I remember getting those calls once I heard the telltale sound in their voice and I hung up without hesitation. So yes, if you were to ask me if I like how life is, then I would say yes, 1,000 times. Yet, I would be lying if I didn't say what happened that summer day didn't change my view on them. For you see, that day, one of those door-to-door salespeople saved my very life. I believe it was a Thursday. No, it was a Wednesday. Well, whatever day it was, I just know it was very hot. I had the day off, spending much of my time just lounging around the house. I went from my bed to the couch, only getting up now and then to grab snacks. There I was, lazing about munching on chips, not caring how many hours went by. My eyes filled with visions of random shows that came on, truly the form of a free person. In my hand's fourth trip into the bag, I felt nothing but the full lining inside. I held it up, wanting to inspect it with my own eyes. I sighed at the sight of no more chips inside. I rose up, my back popping. I dragged myself into the kitchen while yawning. I wandered through the cabinets in search of snacks. What did I find in my search? More bag of chips. I sighed in defeat. I hadn't gone out to buy any groceries. I could go out and buy something, but I didn't feel like leaving the house. So I gorged myself on the chips. However, I did reach a dilemma after finishing my fourth bag of chips. The trash became full. With last night's trash and the empty bags, my can was filled to the brim. I chuckled at the sight. I now had a reason to leave the comfort of my house. When I first stepped out to the porch, the blazing light of the sun hit me in the eyes. I nearly fled back. I shook off the light. No matter how powerful the sun's rays were, I wanted to finish my task so I could go back inside and laze around. I made my way to the side of the house where my trash can was nestled. Once tossed away, I took this moment to look around and see how beautiful the day was. A clear blue sky with no clouds, a nice cool breeze, and the sun sending down its rays on me. It really was a beautiful day. I thought about coming outside later with a good book. That is when I happened to catch something in the corner of my eye. A man dressed in a white button-up shirt, black tie, and black khaki pants bobbed up and down the street. His medium-length hair bouncing as he looked left and right. I shivered at the image I saw. A door-to-door salesman. That, or either a Mormon. Either way, I didn't want to deal with that person. I rushed to my door for dear life, my hand grasping the handle when that happy-go-lucky voice tickled my ear. Hi! I turned my head ever so slowly to the man, his backpack bouncing up and down as he ran over to me. From where I stood, you could tell how stuffed the damn bag was. Just what stupid product did he have in there? Sir, hi, if you give me a moment of your time, I would like to show you this product we're selling. His smile reaching from end to end. Mind if I show you? He tried so hard to sound happy. Oh no, sorry, I have to go. I have a lot to do today, I said, giving a slight worried smile. Please, it won't be but just 10 minutes. He moved his bag where it now rested on his chest instead of his back. He unzipped it, removing a large black marker and a spray of some kind. This spray can clean almost anything. Oh God, how many damn sprays can they make? I said it in a way where he couldn't hear it. Now, sir, if you watch this. I watched as the salesperson removed his bag and placed it next to him. He bent down and used the marker to make a long, deep black line on his white shoe. He looked up at me with a gleeful demeanor. Now look what I did. I used this permanent marker to muck up my nice, clean white shoes. I stared at the man in dead silence. Now I bet you're wondering, how can I get rid of this mark? Well, the salesperson grabbed his spray. With our new spray, you can get rid of those nasty marks. Look, I'm really busy, I said, but the salesperson spoke up. Now watch this. The salesperson sprayed his shoe, and with a small towel rubbed the fluid that came out from the spray onto his shoe. In a second, the mark was gone. Now look at that. It's Michael Jackson white. What did this person just say? I held a shocked, open-mouthed expression. The salesperson looked at me. So what do you think? Interested? I shook myself out of that shocked expression. Look, I'm sorry, I'm not interested. Thank you, but bye. With that, I stepped inside my house, locking the door behind me. I gave myself a few seconds before peering out my peephole to see the man sluggishly grab his stuff and walk away from my porch. I let out a sigh of relief. With that annoyance out of the way, I found myself back on my couch. Within minutes of staring at the TV, I fell to sleep. I became aroused from my nap by the sound of knocking at my door. I glanced at the clock to see 2 hours had passed. Rubbing the tiredness from my eyes and allowing the stiffness to leave my legs, I made my way to the door. Peering out my peephole, I saw the force that had awakened me from my slumber. It was that damn salesperson again. Hello, his voice came from behind my door. Hello, sir? I pressed my forehead against my door. Why did he come back? I already said no. His repeated knocks. I didn't want to reply, but I couldn't keep having him go on with this. Yes, I said, pausing as I spoke. Do you have a moment of your time? He asked. A moment of your time, I said to myself. Why would he ask that? Didn't he hear me the first time? I leaned into the peephole. Sorry, my answer hasn't changed. I'm still not interested. Then the man pressed his right hand against the door. Are you sure, sir? He asked. Maybe if I show you another example. Hey, look, I said I'm not interested. If you don't leave me alone, I'm going to call the cops, I shouted. I glanced through my peephole to see the man have an upset look on his face. Not a look of being angry or pissed, but more like scared and terrified. I started to feel bad for the guy. I don't know how their jobs worked, to be honest. Maybe did they have a quota to make? Did this guy not make his? Was I going to be the reason he got fired? All these thoughts swirled in my head like a bad storm. Damn it, I said softly. I looked through my peephole to see the salesperson ruffle his own hair and then walk around in circles. Then he stepped away from my porch. Did I feel bad for the guy? Yeah, I guess I did. With a heavy sigh, I made my way to the kitchen. I grabbed my wallet from the counter, searching inside it for any cash. That is when a ding sound, much like the sound that a piece of silverware would make, captured my ears. I turned my attention in the direction and became filled with horror at the sight. There, standing in my kitchen holding a knife, was a strange, nasty-dressed man with a large beard. Just who was this man? No, more important, how did he get into my house and what did he plan to do? I did not have time to even continue questioning as my eyes laid their sight on the large butcher knife in the man's hand. It made me form a quirky smile, for I had just purchased that knife last week. Brand new, I hadn't even used it once. Yet this man would test it out on me. Fear trickled down my spine. The man inched closer to me, the madness in his eyes growing. I swear I heard him utter small growls under his breath. Making sure to be careful with my movements, I backed my left hand behind me to grab a chair. The benefits of having a small house. With every inch the man took to close our distance, so did my grip on the chair. Then, without warning, the man let out a loud yell. With the speed of a raging bull, he charged at me. With little time I held, I quickly flung the chair at the man. The impact made the man fall to the floor. I ran to my door, unlocking it as fast as I could. Once I opened the door, I screamed again at the sight of that salesperson. He screamed back at me, then again at the sight of the man running at us with the knife. In a haste, he pulled me out of the way, spraying a mist into the man's eyes. We watched the man drop the knife, then to his knees, all while rubbing his eyes furiously. I did not have long to watch the man struggle, for I felt the salesperson pulled me away from my home. We ran all the way down to the end of the street. With a final stop, I looked up from my heavy breathing to see the salesperson on the phone speaking frantically. It wasn't long until I found out he had called the police. Like clockwork, a police car drove down my street in a haste. It wasn't long when they entered my home, pulling out that deranged man who still rubbed his eyes. After walking over, one of the officers took mine and the salesperson's statements. It was then I learned that the man had broken in through my back door while I slept. I was happy he didn't do anything while I napped, for surely I would have been killed. Once done, I watched the cops drive away with my would-be attacker. I turned my attention to the salesperson, thanking him for everything. I asked how he knew, and he informed me he saw a strange man hop my fence. Fearing the worst, he rushed back to my house, trying his hardest to get my attention. For that, I'm glad he did. We ended out our conversation with many thank yous and welcomes. As he walked away, I felt an incline that made me smirk. I ran over, calling out for him. He gave me a bewildered expression. "Hey!" I said. "How much were those sprays?" Looks like he changed his mind. Goes to show you, help is always in the least expected places. I would like to thank all of you for joining me tonight, and I do hope you enjoyed this tale. This is farewell for now. However, remember these words, everyone. Though these might sound like mere words of fiction to you, for the ones who live within these pages, it is a reality.